Where's the...
My bad, sorry guys.
Record. All right. Schnozzcast is live now.
Oh.
That's awesome. I don't know who just did that, but...
What?
Who just did what?
Well, I've just never gotten a notification of that saying that now we're live.
Yeah.
Oh, you get it every time.
That's funny because you're never here, so you're the audience that you should be getting it.
Yeah.
I don't need to get it.
Yeah, but if your friend's on it, it would go to you as well, though.
You see, I'm in charge of the audio. I have nothing to do with the video.
It's true.
I don't know how it works. Some sort of black magic voodoo.
Yeah.
Sorry, magic voodoo.
Keep things PC.
Yep. Welcome, Schnozzcast, episode 23 for Saturday, June 1st, 2019. Hello, hello. Look around the table. Special episode today. We have a special guest, Mr. Kevin Cromwell.
Hi there. How you doing?
What was that to me? Good,
Oh.
Kevin. How are you?
To the audience out there.
There you go. You gotta address your crowd. You gotta know who you're talking to. Danielle, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Oh, good. Now, do we need to... I can hear her okay. What do you think?
I'm okay.
Well, now it's not actually pointing at your mouth.
Right.
So,
We'll give
yeah.
it time. I could get louder, so.
Oh, okay. Then.
Sometimes I can hear her talking in the car as they're pulling up.
Shut up.
Cory, how are you now?
Oh, not so bad. And you?
Not so bad. Nicholas
Robert J.W. Rankin.
Q. Bader.
We're going to try and make this adjustment and see if I sound better.
I think that's it.
I need some
I
assistance.
think that's it. I
Yeah.
think you got it.
Thanks.
You know, it might help if you start with getting a new voice, maybe.
Oh.
Start there.
Oh. Go to the old voice store.
Well, that's the kind of night we're gonna have tonight, isn't it, Kevin?
We're not
Yeah.
all as comfortable tonight as Cory and Bob.
No, you guys are not.
I'm so comfortable. I don't want.
Oh,
This
I
might be a
was like,
4-hour podcast. now.
Why are they comfortable?
I'm still trying to think. Bob said there was a slight surprise, and if that was the surprise, I'll be very upset.
Anyway, welcome to episode 23. We have 2 new chairs. Don Hicks was famously uncomfortable in his folding chair yesterday, so
Yep.
decided to remedy that. And there were 2 decent models for $40 at Walmart, so I picked up the last 2. And zip. Anyway.
Every time.
Yeah, if I get a break on my tax bill this week, maybe I'll pick up another couple. We'll see. Yeah, but they're not bad.
So $40 a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For 40 for the pair, I would have probably gone to another Walmart and seen if I pick up more. But it needed to be done. All right, why don't we do some quick housekeeping? I did it die already?
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh my God! I was gonna
Jesus.
say if we.
Well, because he got up and he didn't look in a panic or he didn't look upset, so I'm like, what is
there was
that?
showing too many teeth and a smile to be anything wrong with the podcast.
Oh, you want me to? Or do you
I
want to
already did.
Okay.
If you guys, the folks that aren't here,
I haven't.
when you hear beep 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 beep,
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well hear gunshots. Because all of a sudden there's expletives
That's
and
what Cory hears.
slamming down on the table, and
Yep.
it's a very hard time at the Schnozzcast.
Smile disappears, replaced with a scowl.
Yeah. Housekeeping.
But he's happy now. Yeah, housekeeping. We other than the chairs, I think we've got. Did you say we had hit? What was it last time? 500 followers.
Yes, we were at exactly 500 friends on Facebook.
Cool. I haven't had a chance to do any analytics and any other stuff, so I don't really know if we've got an uptick there. But every time I look when I publish a new episode, it does tick up slightly following that publishing, and then it dips down a bit until the next weekend comes around. So hopefully it'll stay the same. But do you have news? I know you have news. I think it's a great time to share it as far as talking about potential future guests of the podcast.
Oh yes, I was able to get in contact with Todd Bonner from Detroit Paranormal Expeditions.
And you know, how do you know them again?
Well, we did the tour of Eloise last year in October.
What is Eloise?
Rave soul.
The old insane asylum down on Michigan Avenue in Westland. And so their group took us through there, and then we did a tour with them of the Michigan Fire Museum in Ypsilanti.
Cool.
This, what was that, January?
I think so.
Yeah, this past January. And great group. They take their work very seriously and do a good job. And Todd is actually somewhat of a distant family member. He's my uncle's other nephew.
Okay.
So reached out to him to see if they would like to be guests on the podcast. And he answered me this morning that him and his co-founder Jeff would be more than happy to come on.
Now, do you think it's the family connection that's prompted the immediate yes, or has he actually listened to us or watched us?
I know he's friends with us, and he's liked a bunch of the stuff on the Facebook page. So
Okay.
I didn't ask if he's actually listened, but I think it's not only good for us, but it'd be good for their group too, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have plenty of publicity. I mean, he's been on the Travel Channel, a couple other shows.
Okay.
So slightly more than what we've done here.
Oh, this little doggy pony show we're driving around here? Yeah.
Todd and his group have made it pretty big. So
Good for them.
it'd be quite the honor to have him on the show and
Yeah.
bring in some of their evidence and show us what they've caught over the years, and I think it'd be pretty cool.
I always want to be the Ghostbuster.
That's what they've been doing. So
Yeah, for everybody who's listening to the audio version, if you have never watched this on Facebook Live, I think that'd probably be a really good opportunity for us to decide to Facebook stream the entire thing.
Bob,
Because it'll be very visual, and maybe
yes.
make stuff that we can hold up to the GoPro.
Bob, are you nervous what you're gonna find in your house?
No, I already know somebody died in this house. Right in my living room. And bought the house from his widow. So I should probably not have said that. Maybe they could have discovered that on their own. Now they can't. Kind of fucked it up for Todd Bonner and his crew. But that's huge for us because generally we just sit around here talking about bullshit. Whatever we want. But this would actually be the first sort of themed, like let's have a guest and talk about one topic.
and I feel that would take up that would definitely be, we could make that a pretty long podcast.
Yeah.
And I think most of the talking and all that would be on their part.
Sure.
We'd
Is there a way that we can do like a traveling one, like have them go through the whole house?
Sorry, I'm a mess today, guys.
someone-
No.
Like,
It's all right.
like have them follow
Shut up.
them go to the house with the GoPro and like a headset mic somehow, and they can like point out different things that they can sense in your house.
Right.
Are you two making fun of me over here?
No.
Liars.
Yes, I think there's certainly a way where, if you're just doing the GoPro can be the video and the audio.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Cory, but if you do footage like from that camera over there, can you separate the audio out from that as a file? Even if
Well-
you can't, I have software that I might be able to. I downloaded it with the intention of trying to figure out how to isolate like the phone call, the call-in guests that we were doing, and it's supposed to be able to let you play like YouTube videos or something like that and strip out the audio.
Okay.
So I imagine you'd probably be able to do the same thing.
Well, and that's coming up here shortly. I will have new software of my own that could probably
Right.
mess around with that and see if we can make that happen.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I think there's a chance that we just do the GoPro walking through wherever,
Yeah.
get their permission to use the video and the audio on
Mhm.
our podcast,
Yeah.
and then we have that then to go up on YouTube and on Facebook, not as live, or I guess we could live stream if there's a way to get Wi-Fi in a building like that, but we could strip out the audio and then still put it up on iTunes and everywhere else.
So what you would have to do is create a hotspot on your phone, pay a little bit extra a month, connect to that hotspot through the GoPro, and then you can go live.
Which I can already do.
Oh.
Does the hotspot give you that fast
Yeah.
enough bandwidth, like upload to
Yeah.
Faster than your
Great.
houses.
Probably. Probably.
More secure and much faster.
So
Probably.
Eloise, surprisingly, is much more secure and quicker Wi-Fi
That's Wi-Fi.
than the Schnozzcast studios.
Yep.
The Wi-Fi from '86 is doing better than Bob's house.
Well,
This is going to play in nicely with my later segment called Hurtling Toward the Grave. in which I
Hurl towards the grave.
fail at everything
Has
I
anyone,
do.
has anyone checked Bob for weapons tonight?
It's everybody's a little salty tonight. I feel. Kevin walked in with a swagger and chip on his shoulder, calling Nick out right before we start recording,
Yeah.
like a little bitch. Oh, not captured on tape. That's fine. That's fine. We'll see how it goes. No, I think it's great news. And I think what I said to you guys in response was, why can't we do the same thing with the people who do behind the scenes work on Drew and Mike or on Dave and Chuck the Freak, to say the odds of us getting Drew or Dave on this podcast are very slim, right? They've got their own show. They don't know who we are.
Yeah.
But if they're behind the scenes guys, the guys who actually do the audio and the video for them, and they handle social media and things like that, and help them to build a podcast, would be interested in coming on and talk with us about building podcasts and what they did and best practices and experiences that they've had. I think that would be pretty cool, because we've always been open with, like, we're a podcast that's trying to figure out how to be good.
Do a podcast.
Yeah, we started out shitty, got progressively better, learn through our own mistakes. But I think that'd be a great, less a conversation to have, and
Well,
maybe that would be interesting.
And as we kind of talked about too, that I'm going to shoot out an email to Drew and Mike
Mhm.
about the camera situation, how we talked, to see if I can get some insight from the guy that does their audio visual stuff,
Right.
to see if he has any pointers or anything he can give me to, as far as how he changes from camera to camera,
Yeah,
or what software he might use to do all that stuff. So
I think that'd be great.
hopefully Monday I'll get that sent out.
Yeah, it just kind of opens up a different line of thinking about, we don't. Most of the time, we should sit around here and have our normal, fun conversation for laughs and hit a bunch of different topics wherever we feel like, whatever segments we want to do, and that's it. But it'd be really nice to do some themed content.
Open up a lot of doors there.
Absolutely.
Be easier for y'all to do your remote podcast at Uncle Ray's Official.
Well, that's a whole other, because then you got to deal, because Eloise is great because there's no other noise other than you guys walking around to deal with.
Well, you got the ghost making the noise.
Kevin. Kevin,
Yeah,
save
we-
that for the Tab Honor.
Yeah.
we may have to rethink some things with Cory's official as of late.
Well, we're dealing with a lot of
well,
ambient noise.
Well, if
Yeah.
Bob would fix the gutter.
It's true.
It's half fixed. I've
Half
seen
fixed
him
process.
twice now and reminded him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll talk to you later about that." I'm like, "All right. What else can I do?"
Don't lie, Bob. Tell us what he really said.
No, it's exactly what he said.
No. I'll talk to
Sorry.
you later about that, man.
That's also not true, because there's no way there's only one man in that
It's
sentence.
hey, Bob, ranking man.
Hey, man. I'll talk to you later about that, man. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's that.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, for anybody keeping up. So Nick and I made a trip to Home Depot.
Yep.
Did some painting work and got a replacement downspout ready to go. But the only reason why we didn't replace it was because the original downspout piece that's there still is somehow immovably attached to the gutter. So we either saw it off or possibly break the gutter or figure out some other way.
Retrofit.
Yeah, but it was. I'm like, that's it. We're gonna stop and we're gonna get Jason's direction as to how he wants us to proceed.
Right.
Because we also weren't going up in a gutter high enough where we could a ladder where we could look in the gutter and see what the problem was.
How did that sanding work out?
I did not get to the
Oh,
sanding yet.
that's a big surprise.
How high did you dent this thing? I thought you just kicked it at the bottom.
Kevin,
It's all connected, Kevin. It's a gutter.
Kevin,
Oh yeah, but
It has to
you
be
just
all-
kept
Kevin,
it.
we could have done the little piece I kicked, but that's not what we're about here at the Schnozzcast. We're just gonna replace your whole thing, top to bottom, brand new piece.
All right.
Go big or go home is
Right, but I don't want to do it twice. So
True.
I don't want Nick or I up there on a ladder sawing off the gutter and then trying to get a connector piece or some glue and put it there and have him go, yeah, well, I don't know why you did that because that looks like shit. So,
not what I was looking for.
Right, that's not what I'm doing. So, are you texting Jason right now?
No. Nope.
All right, so I think that's the housekeeping. I think that's awesome news for
Yeah.
Top Honor and the.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And,
that's
but
really
well,
cool.
the other big news that we have coming up at the end of the summer,
Mhm.
a officially August 24th.
Yes, thank you. I forgot I forgot that we hadn't publicly announced that yet.
Yes, August 24th, we will be doing the first annual Schnozzcast Crab Boil.
Yep.
So all the other details are still to be determined, but just so everyone gets the date to look in advance and take off work.
I think we're going to put in a save the date on Facebook at some point.
Yes, we'll definitely make an announcement on Facebook.
Details to follow, but at least to save the date.
We're thinking 25 to 50 people kind of situation, venue to be determined, number of people to be determined, but we do have some slight sponsors, some sponsoring that's going on, and some people that say that, hey, we believe in you and we want you to really do this, and we can kind of show you the way and walk you through the darkness. So
Nice.
that should be awesome. We're hoping it's not going to be a Fire Fest situation. Where there's,
Although think of the press if we were.
tents blowing in the wind and
Oh my God.
yeah.
People pillaging each other for water.
Right. Only difference was their clients were millionaires.
Yeah, that's true. They could just leave at any time.
Yeah, right. Minor detail.
Yeah, but that's
We could rent
that's
an
awesome.
island though.
Would it be a nude beach island?
No. No. For the love of God, Bob, put your clothes on.
You are the only one that's nude here.
Hey!
Right.
Hello!
Turn
We
the
waited
boat
for the
around.
island.
We already discussed this,
Row
Bob.
back. Row back. Turn the boat around. Look at Bob. He got here first. He's soaking wet. How did he get here?
Just walking down the beach,
Yeah. Hey, fellas.
greeting boats.
Is that a coconut?
Happy crab boil.
Is that a coconut with a face on it? Oh no, it's a volleyball.
Those are 2 coconuts.
Mm.
So, yeah, I think we need to meet with our potential sponsor soon
Yeah, we do.
to hammer out those details.
She's got a very busy schedule.
Yep.
But I've been in contact with her, so we're gonna make it work.
Yeah, so we're thinking the normal crab boil accoutrements, the corn on the cob, potatoes, etc., and potentially some steaks, some Swedish meatballs. No Swedish meatballs. We won't be doing Swedish meatballs. So yeah, so save the date. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
All right, so housekeeping done. Kevin, what's going on in the world? I think you got some announcements here for the crowd, right? The people who are devoted Kevin Cromwellites and want to know what's going on with you since your last visit here.
Let's see. Last time I was here was end of March timeframe or so, roughly.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, whoa. Why did you change your headphones?
Well,
Because we discovered that port number 6 was turned off.
But you could have just plugged in the old ones and poured
I
them
know.
in.
I really wish I did, but.
It's not too late.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's do it.
So while Kevin's doing that.
I was going to say, can we get the Top Gun theme going?
Dun dun dun.
My only problem is you don't smell. On your 6, on your 6. Oh my God, if you, dude.
God damn it, Kevin.
Bob's lights are currently dimming.
I think they're dead.
Oh, no. Turn on the backup power.
Yeah, backup power supply. Initiate backup. Computer working.
Working.
Still nothing?
For people who can't see,
Oh, if you're listening to the audio and you're not watching Facebook Live, you are missing. It looks like
Kevin has 2 car batteries attached to his head
Yeah.
with a boom mic that
These
comes
are,
off the side of it.
These are my son's gaming code.
Kevin, that's old.
And
that's
I haven't touched them since the last time I was here, and he blew out half of it, so only half's working. So I'm gonna have to go back to these other ones now.
all right.
Alright.
That was disappointing.
I know. I like these things. They're comfortable.
They look very comfortable.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Just insanely comfortable.
Yeah. You look like
You're just jealous, okay? That's all it is. You're just
Lobot
jealous.
from Empire Strikes Back.
You-
Lando Calrissian's trusty bodyguard.
Like if you were to take 2 50-pound weight plates and just put them right next to your
Yeah,
ears.
hang them off your ears.
he took them off and he just got taller.
His neck was like, thank you.
Oh yeah, that's way better already. Yeah,
All
unfortunate.
right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can hear.
So now I have to go buy some new headsets.
You're welcome, by the way.
Dude, don't move that. Don't move that. You just cut out.
There we go.
Oh, it's not the adapters.
So what was about the point where you stopped listening? Well,
Which time?
Yeah. Each episode has its own moment.
Yeah. Just go. Well, that's enough of that.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So
let's see here. Since last time I was here, well, I have graduated nursing school.
congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. And then I've also passed my boards. Which,
Outstanding. I have no idea how hard that is.
Well,
I don't know what that means.
basically, as a nurse, you have to
basketball
pass
term.
the NCLEX, as a state or the federal or
National.
Anyway, that's the word I'm looking for. National level.
That would be the N in
world.
NCLEX.
Yeah,
Okay.
slightly.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So, would have liked to have done better, but they don't give you a grade score, and all it says is pass, so I don't care.
That's what we want
Yeah,
from our
right,
nurses. All right.
Right. But then there's no need to bring it up then.
Well,
Right.
We were like, Kevin, I heard you pass, but Jesus.
yeah.
About
yeah.
barely.
Well, you go from anywhere from 75 to 285 questions,
Okay.
cut off at any time. Either the computer knows that you're gonna pass, no problem,
Yep.
or fail, no problem. it'll cut off at any time.
So how many did you get?
266.
Oh, okay.
Out
So
of
you were
285.
Right in the middle
Yeah, it
of
was.
like,
I was.
Like,
Yeah.
the
he's
computer was
either
kind of
really
like,
smart or really stupid. I
"Ooh,
can't figure it out.
This
Yeah.
guy is walking the fence.
Exactly.
He could fall off at any point, or he could
Right.
make it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Question
So-
number 67, he's the only one who got it right, but question 68, Jesus. He picked F. F was like none of the above, and clearly.
It's so hard to decide, is this
Yeah.
pass no problem or is this fail no problem?
Exactly. And then, of course, it's better than the way it used to be back in the old days, but we still had to wait 48 hours to find out if you pass or fail.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
My neighbor's a nurse, but she's retired, 70 years old or so, and she took the test as 2 days, 8 hours each day, and she had to wait 2 months to find out if she passed or failed.
What? Same
Yeah.
test?
Well, that was back 40
back in
years
the-
ago.
okay.
50 years ago.
1927.
Before
Yeah.
pencils? Right.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously,
That sucks.
48 hours way better than 2 months.
Sure.
But the anxiety of then going through there, and
Yeah.
it's a lot. So
But when you walked out after 265 questions,
I was pissed. I thought I bombed it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
but you already knew, right? If you bombed it, you would have ended up at question 75.
True. You're right. But like halfway point, like 4 hours test.
Mhm.
I'm at like 2.5 hours. I'm just like.
All your friends are already drunk from.
Well, I had one friend that was actually I took it down in Toledo.
Okay.
Was the testing site, and I had one friend from school there and a bunch of other people from other schools, and he was in and out like within an hour and a half and I'm there 4 hours, and I'm just struggling along trying
Jesus.
to. Yeah, it was rough, but
EKGs, IVs.
hey, I got that
EKGs,
stuff down.
IVs.
No, it was questions like, out of these 4 patients, which one needs a interdisciplinary consult, which is a doctor, a pharmacist, other personnel besides a nurse.
Mhm.
They're all med surg patients. They all need it. Okay, which one needs it more?
I see the problem there.
Yeah.
I don't
Kevin,
see
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin,
Right.
as happy as we all are for you right now, just don't get used to feeling really good about yourself, because Susan may be coming down here, who's a physician's assistant. She might just blow you right out of the
Oh,
water.
actually, my cousin's a PA, so I understand what they've had to go through and everything. So
No.
No.
So,
Only a
hey.
cruel, sadistic monster would do that.
I don't have to worry about her listening. So.
Very true. Very true.
Hey, she did say she was gonna send up some fresh crab though.
We've
No,
decided against
plan B.
Okay.
The setting up of the fresh crab would have entailed her driving like a
up here.
2-day round trip drive,
Yeah.
which she would have done.
Mhm.
But now with sponsorship, we may not have to do it, and it may be at no cost to anybody. So
Ooh. So that means
Plan
your
B.
tickets can be even cheaper, or you just pocket more money.
well, no, Kevin. Look, there's other
That's-
there's other things besides crab legs that you bought for the crab.
Oh, I
boil, so,
yeah.
yeah.
You guys gotta.
What are you gonna do? Hold on your crab like this? You're gonna have a plate, right? So, and then there's beer.
Oh, yes.
Are we providing that? So all that's got to be worked out.
Ooh, yeah.
You gotta walk before you can run, Kevin.
No.
So that's awesome
Yeah.
news. We're all very proud of
Yep.
you here.
So thank you.
We've been
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, we've been singing your praises.
Yeah, thank you. So it's been a long journey, and unfortunately, it starts again on August 24th, the day of my bachelor's.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, at least you'll.
It's all online. It's all writing papers, which I'm really good at BSing papers. So
That's something you use your inside voice for.
I would say hopefully we can get this forwarded to some of the Kevin's future professors.
So, Mr. Cromwell, happy to listen to episode 23 of the Schnozzcast, and noticed you referencing some bullshit, and you want to pass my class.
That's what the BS and BSN stands for.
Exactly. Thank you.
Damn. Cuts like a knife, doesn't she?
Like a poop knife.
Thanks.
Well played. Well played. So, but the nice thing about that is an accelerated program.
Right.
So I'll be done with 1 year.
Okay.
And I'll be completely debt free. The Army will pay for that as well. So far,
Fantastic.
So far, the Army's paid for 4 years of school, and I'll have 1 more left.
Okay.
So,
Jesus.
that's nice.
Yeah. A lot of hard work, sir.
Yeah.
Hard work and commitment.
Yeah.
So hats off to you, man.
Yep.
We're all proud.
Thank you. Thank you. And then also on top of that, on the day of graduation, I completely gutted my bathroom in the house. Walls, ceiling, floor, everything came out, and I'm still rebuilding it.
Was that a planned activity or
Just decide.
Where is that poop knife? I cannot locate it.
No, see what happened is my mother-in-law told my wife that, oh well, I'll just give you the money on my card and you just buy everything you need and you can just do it whenever and pay you back over the and
bullshit, Mom.
Yeah, and then my wife's like, bam, it's being done now. So,
But she knew you were doing the
and
class.
oh yeah,
okay.
oh yeah. So I've been studying for that, along with working and everything else. So
Okay.
yeah, about halfway done with the tile work on the walls. Getting there.
All right. Well, for the third time, we're very happy
Yeah.
for all your comments.
You know what it is, Cory? It's because all the attention's away from Nick right now.
Oh.
Ooh, man.
I'm just
Haven't came to play today.
Trying to wait to figure out the nursing segue to the bathroom.
No, I was just saying, I just added that on top of everything else for studying and work and the kids, and so.
We're very proud of you, Kevin.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Okay, steering the ship right along.
You get hot in here?
More
They
comfortable.
scored again.
Bruins.
All right.
All right,
Bruins
go
up
Bruins.
5-2.
No,
14 minutes left in the
And
third.
it should be 6.
Game 3.
Oh,
Oh.
like this. Yeah.
Not a sports podcast.
Well, we're not going
Everybody
to
but
dissect.
you.
These are just numbers I'm reading off. We're not just
Hey,
dissecting what just
I grew
happened.
up in New England, all right?
And it's the playoffs.
So you're a Bruins fan?
Yeah, Bruins, Celtics, Pats.
I would be. I
Red Sox.
cannot stand Marchand and Bergeron.
Sorry, a bunch of
Can't.
luck.
I know. No, they're
Yeah.
a great team.
Yeah. No, but they've really pulled it through over this.
So great. One of their players just put the puck in their own net.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Ricochet? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Shot Carlo.
Yeah.
Well,
Carlo's going to be going back to the AHL in another couple of days. Did Chara get hurt?
I'll tell you the truth.
Sorry, between NCLEX and bathroom
I haven't really. I haven't been following. I've been kind of just seeing the highlights on the game somewhat.
Kevin,
so.
the correct answer is I don't have time for that.
I
I
really-
listen to the Schnozzcast every week.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. Finishing up the last episode today.
All right then. Okay, so we're done telling Kevin how awesome he is. Yes, sir. Danielle, what's going on in your world?
Just working.
Yeah, how are those doggies?
They're good.
Yeah. Any trouble with the thunderstorms?
Yeah. Remy doesn't like storms at all.
Okay.
He freaks out. I had to stand next to him today for him to eat his food during the storm.
Did
You
y'all
won't
get?
eat food during a storm?
No. He won't eat food. He won't eat treats, like nothing. He has a lot of anxiety.
He's pretty much a bitch.
He's not. He's a good boy.
Did y'all get hail up here?
No.
This
I
one?
don't think so.
We got marble size hail in Carlton
Okay.
and pea stone size in Monroe.
No, we did not get any
Yeah.
hail.
I mean, it was bad thunderstorm, but
Yeah.
we didn't get it like that.
Yeah, we got pretty good size, good amount of hail.
Consider myself lucky. I mean, I don't know. My dogs wanted to go outside during the storm. Like, no, you're not. And I don't think anyone would stop my dog from wanting to eat.
Which honestly, when we had, it was last week, there was like a thunderstorm that lasted maybe a half hour at like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
They were outside before it had started. Well, I was in the other room and I heard it start raining, and then I heard the thunder. My back door doesn't latch really good. I got back into the kitchen and Remy had got himself back in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He left Rue outside.
Well,
She doesn't
every
care.
man for himself.
What type of dogs are they?
Remy, they told me, they're both rescues.
Okay.
They told me he was a lab shepherd mix.
Okay.
And then Rue's a pit mix.
All right.
Lab, shepherd, and bitch.
No. He's very mean to him.
I had
To Cory? Well,
No.
That makes sense.
Cory is mean to Remy.
Isn't that your dog?
No.
No, he's mine.
Rue's your dog?
Well, Rue came from Keegan, so more or less mine.
All right.
I have to give a shout out to Keegan too, for just helping me this week, and we'll just leave it at that.
Hey, Nick. Hey,
Nope, we won't go any further.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Nick.
Talk shop, but
Dawn.
I appreciate it, Keegan.
Hey, Nick. Dawn texted me saying I had the whitest headphones on ever
That's true, you do. Who's Dawn?
That's so racist.
from work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pick of the week.
Absolutely. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
We're just afraid you're going to say that.
Well, usually you bring up pick of the week and then make me go first, so I figured I'd kind of
Throw
reverse
back
the
at
roles
you.
today.
Well,
Yeah.
well played, sir.
Thank you. Anything to get away from hockey.
The only...
It's the only sport you actually watch.
I do like it. I do,
I
but
didn't realize
We don't have a
were
dog in
right.
this fight.
but
True.
talking about
Yeah.
different players and what they're doing while we're trying to do a podcast. Anyhow, pick of the week.
All right. So, this is the only thing I come up with. There's a what is the network, the TV network that shows like life,
The
life behind bars,
A&E.
cop rundown. Is it A&E?
Yeah.
Okay.
you're thinking of the Oprah Network. Oh
No.
Oxygen? Lifetime.
A&E
Lifetime.
sounds good.
TLC.
Lifetime.
I don't know why you're still shouting out.
Lifetime.
It sounds. A&E
Yeah.
sounded like it was it.
Oxygen.
I'm gonna go with that. So there's a documentary
Good housekeeping.
about Chris Farley on
Ooh.
A&E that
Oh.
I caught on Hulu Live TV this last week. Yeah, a huge Farley fan, as I'm sure all the males at this table are, and probably even the
I know.
females. Yeah. It wasn't great.
I'm
What is going on?
warm.
All right.
It's a sweatshirt.
Some
Jesus.
disrobing going on here.
I'm like I'm getting naked.
Getting ready for
God's
fire.
sake.
For those of you listening to the audio
Firefest too.
podcast, let me describe to you step by step what I'm seeing.
Taking off a sweatshirt, you weirdos.
All right, so
Lord.
Chris Farley documentary.
Chris Farley documentary. I think it was with commercials. Is about a 2-hour thing, but probably half of it was stuff that like recycled footage of like the Chippendales dance or the sketch he did when he was like the Chris Farley show with Paul McCartney as the guest or Jeff Daniels. We've all seen that stuff before. It's great to see it again because I'm like, oh, that was so good. But there were a couple things that are in it that really made it worth your while. And number one was there was old footage from him when he was in Second City, when he moved from Wisconsin to Chicago to try to make it an improv. So it was pretty interesting the way that, and then kind of how he got discovered. But he was kind of always one of those people that he's just this force of nature on stage, and everybody loved him.
Yeah.
And he just, I can't remember what the exact name of the documentary is, but it's something like anything for a laugh. Like he would do literally anything at all, and that was kind of the thing that got him in the end, was that he just wanted to please you, and if he couldn't do that, he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. But the other thing that made it completely amazing was he has 3 brothers, and they're all still alive. And for this documentary, they all got together at like a steakhouse in Chicago and just talked as brothers about their
Brother.
about Chris. And then they had the meal. They were talking about like what Chris would have ordered, and they all ordered food. And they kept talking through the meal. They ordered dessert. They're having drinks, and it was kind of peppered throughout the whole thing. And it was amazing. It was like you were Chris Farley sitting there with your brothers. All these guys were just as funny as he was. One of them, despite the fact that he didn't have red hair and he kind of had like a beard, was a spitting image of Chris Farley. Looked like him, talked like him. You would have thought it was Chris Farley. But
Wow.
they were all just Farley funny. They were cracking wise with each other and talking about like some of the stuff he used to do, and how they would make each other laugh at home, and what being a Farley at the Farley household was like. And it was really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
So if you've seen all the Farley footage again, and that's all you're interested in, you don't really need to watch it. But if you're just for the Farley brothers alone, worth a watch.
I did see I saw the previews for that, and it looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, they interviewed Al Franken. They interviewed Bobby Moynihan, a couple of other writers from SNL, and people that he was the guy who he roomed with when he went to Marquette University, who had a ton of different stories about him and knew him really, really well, and told one really funny story about. Can I tell the story? Should I tell the story?
I might as well.
I might as well, because he just the guy.
I mean, it is a 2-hour documentary.
2-hour documentary. So real quick, he and his roommate Chris Farley were in a class together, and it was like a communications class, and they had to, everybody in the class had to take a turn doing something, and it was like a presentation, and they had to kind of write a script for stuff, and it had to be verbal, it had to be visual, and the only direction was how to ... So it had to be like a how to do something. And he said, Chris was like, well, I've got something I'm kind of thinking about. I'm not really sure. He's like, no, just do what you feel you got to do. So he goes, this is what Chris did. Chris, when it was his turn, he pulled out a 6-pack of beer, cracked a beer, chugged the beer, and then threw the empty can against the wall, and then he took the rest of the beer, opened another one of the beers, started drinking it, and then walked out of the class.
Was this like in high school or college?
It was in college at Marquette University.
Okay, yeah.
And when he came back in like 10 seconds later, he was wearing like the same jacket he was wearing, but he had pulled the shirt up over his head. And he was like rubbing his belly and still drinking beer and throwing it against the wall. And at the end of it, he grabbed the microphone. He's like, "How to get someone's attention." And that was his presentation.
That works.
Yeah. Okay, Chris Farley. So that's my pick of the week.
Awesome.
I'll let you guys decide amongst yourselves in which direction you're gonna go.
Cory, go ahead.
I'll go, Nick. I'll give you some time.
Oh, good. Kevin.
So-
Thanks, Kevin.
So, if most of you listeners and viewers out there remember back on episode 7, 8, 9, something like that, Cory had mentioned an app called Podcoin.
Yep.
Okay, an app that you can listen to podcasts and earn cash to do so. And I encourage you to go back to those episodes to listen to and get that information.
Well, if it's back that far, I would just say go get Podcoin, because the sound quality probably wasn't worth your time.
Yeah.
When did we finally get mics and stuff like that? Was it 9, 10?
Yeah, it was around then.
Yeah, maybe all right. Maybe
I think by actual episode 5, I think we had
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
the basics that
Okay.
Well,
maybe
I've listened since. I've listened
You
to
would
them all,
probably know
so
better than
the
anyone,
quality is
so.
decent on all of them.
Okay.
But so go back and listen to about Podcoin. But one of the things I found on Podcoin, outside of the Schnozzcast, most of you may or may not know, but I'm a combat veteran with the Army, and there was a podcast done it's called Straight Outta Combat Radio by Green Zone Hero. It's got over 100 podcasts out there of different combat veterans, some non-combat veterans, that they get the chance to tell their story about what they went through during the service time, but also successes and failures that they had outside of the service as well. And so it really opens the door to see the mindset of a lot of the combat veterans out there. You know, a lot of times people get a stigma that we're all crazy and have something wrong with us because of what we saw in war. And, you know, not to say that a lot of people don't have challenges with that, but it's not the mainstream. And
Okay,
so it
right.
gives you a chance to see a lot of different aspects of what combat veterans have gone through, what they've done to make it, and they've also through that those who get on the podcast get a chance to open the doors for other veterans that they've got a service that they can help them. You know,
Say the name of the podcast again.
it's called Straight Outta Combat Radio by Green Zone Hero.
Green Zone here is the company or the group
Exactly,
that puts it- okay.
exactly
Okay.
right. So
And you use Podcoin to listen to your podcast, but
Yeah.
they can probably be found iTunes.
I would
anywhere
imagine
else.
so.
Okay.
I would imagine so. But if
Okay.
the way I look at it is if I'm gonna listen anyways, might as well make some money doing so.
Okay.
So, but that's my pick. It's been I've listened to probably about 50 of the episodes so far, outside of Schnozzcast, and
Right.
I got a lot out of it. So,
Cool. I will take a listen to it. Encourage all the listeners and watchers to do the same if it sounds like it's down your alley.
Mhm.
So
Remind me, Kevin, too, and I'll follow with our Twitter if they have a Twitter account.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a follow back
Yeah,
or something like
that's
that.
a
for
great
sure,
idea.
absolutely,
Contact
yeah.
with them. Also, welcome Susan, Terry, and Phil Anton. Just entered the room. They must have carpooled.
Ride share program.
yeah.
And what direction was that in the alley again, Bob?
Up the alley. What did I say?
You said down the alley.
Down the alley?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's probably a dotted yellow line down the middle of the alley saying go in whichever direction you want. Just stick to the right.
Fair enough.
But we
Did I get myself out of that hole? Whatever hole I somehow dug myself into?
But we are a patriotic, I think, podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of folks here that provide some kind of service to society. So, but
And some of us who don't.
I think I speak for everyone. We say thank you for your service, Kevin. Just to get that out of the way.
Absolutely,
For sure.
sure.
And thank you for supporting.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's key right there. You know,
Right?
Come from a family of veterans, so definitely hits close to home.
you know, you may not know this, but and you know, I know
Odds
you.
are slim.
Well,
I probably do.
I know you listen to your Saturday morning vinyls,
I do.
and Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, I do.
I'm glad someone else brought it up.
But you know, Jimi Hendrix got a huge name in the music industry.
Mhm.
But did you know that he was a 82nd paratrooper?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
I did. Rogan's a huge Hendrix fan, and he's got, I think right behind him in his podcast, he's got a big print,
Okay.
like a silk print of Hendrix.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know his whole connection to the arm, to the service, and I don't know if once he started his musical career, if he ever did a callback to that or acknowledged it in any way. But I knew that he came from that background.
Yeah, I know he did 3 years. I think you want to say he was a cook, but I'm not positive about that. But I know he was with the 82nd. He was a paratrooper, which I was as well.
Right.
And then, you know, and if you listen to some of his music, you know, when he was at Woodstock and he came out and did that Star Spangled Banner rendition,
Yeah.
you know, that right there shows a lot.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, and his
Mhm.
reinterpretation of that,
Yeah.
then some would say, you know, quintessential.
Yeah.
All right, who's up next? Danielle.
I don't know if I have one. I was gonna say the TV pause, so I didn't know if we were gonna lose.
Oh.
Wait a second.
I
Beep,
don't know.
beep, 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 beep.
I'm not sure.
No, that's still going.
I'll go.
Did you-
So mine I had mentioned, I think last week or the week before, that a friend of mine.
Is that it?
It didn't.
It
No,
hasn't disconnected.
hold on.
Facebook Live just told me, sorry, unknown error occurred while trying to play this video.
Well, and your TV just went out too.
Yeah.
Nope, there it goes. Oh, it said it's still recording.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Facebook.
Nah, doubtful.
I know.
Oh, there we go. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
And we're back.
We're back.
I don't think we ever
If we
really
were-
left.
That never left.
If we were gone.
I think maybe it was just like the
Oh,
feed.
thank God we still have our one viewer. Great.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, but I don't know. So I mentioned this on the last podcast about Dogfish Head as a brewing company, Maryland, right, Bob?
Yes.
And they make a lot of good beers. Not the one I had tonight, but don't try the coconut IPA toasted bullshit that I just had. It's disgusting. But this one is their 120-minute IPA. I didn't know that this was even out there. They call it the Holy Grail for hopheads. But it clocks in at 15 to 20% alcohol by volume per 12-ounce bottle.
Wow.
I didn't believe it. It just has
a bit much.
It just has like a cream label and just a very, very plain lettering on the front that says 120-minute IPA. It actually encourages you to store the beer. I think I had mentioned last week. So you can use it like wine. I guess it gets better with age. But I was explicitly told to, stay at home when I drink. I'm like, dude, it's a beer, okay? It is 1 12-ounce of beer. I think I'm okay. But I did. I took it under advisement. And just imagine, like, not incredibly bitter, but just a really smooth, like almost like a Bell's Two Hearted IPA. Just really, really good flavor. And I split it up into half and half in a glass, and I had a dirty blonde with it, and I felt like I had a 6-pack within like an hour. It was amazing. But it was a really good, like nice, cool, chill, like buzz, So I think they're like $10 a bottle.
Wow.
But I mean, when you put it into perspective, you have to think that it's kind of like the equivalent of drinking 12 ounces of Fireball. So, because what is it?
Yeah.
Fireball 15%.
I honestly don't have any idea.
Oh,
Would you
Cory.
would you like me to look on the bottom?
Yeah, please. Or just
While you're in there,
Kevin, if you could start an IV with Cory's arm.
Oh, yeah.
It's 33%.
Okay.
33?
All right.
Maybe not.
So half a beer's full of Fireball. Oh, because it's 20. So, but anyhow, yeah. So highly recommend if you get a chance, look it up. They make a 60, a 90, a 75, and a 120-minute IPA. You can get the 60 as well. The 60 is 9%. But definitely didn't taste like high gravity or high alcohol content beer.
That's
It
good.
just tasted like a really good IPA.
not sure why I bothered.
It's a very, very high content.
Perfect size.
Dude,
I think that the most I've ever seen
thank you.
was like 12, and that clearly.
Yeah, me too. But it's usually like a stout, like a very high gravity,
Right.
Like a thick beer, where you're like, ugh, you wouldn't even
Right.
want to drink it fast, But this was like, thank God I was only given one, because I would be like, oh, I could have a couple more of these, and no. No.
And face down goes Nick.
So I may pick up a 4-pack one night, bring it in, see how you guys like it.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, we have to do that. Let's do that at the beginning of the podcast.
Well, no, right before we leave.
I mean, that's happened before.
Yeah, so highly recommend Dogfish Head 120-minute IPA. It's my pick of the week.
Can you find that anywhere?
No, you if for the people out there that the hopheads or the people that like craft beers, you can download Tap Hunter.
Yeah.
Good app for your phone, and type in some usual places that you like to go, and you'll get notifications with specific beers that you like or whatever. You can pick them from a list, and it'll say, hey, we just tapped Sheboygan Brewing Company's Blood Orange Honey around the block from you. Or
That's cool.
Or or you can locate. You can say, hey, let me know when it's close. So I know there's a couple places in Dearborn that actually have it.
What's
But
the
as far
app
as
called?
the app's called Tap Hunter.
Tap Hunter.
That's kind of neat.
Damn it, I could use that for a pick of the week next week.
Damn it!
Disregard.
Edit that out.
But we're gonna do our first shot of the night at the Schnozzcast. So if you have them, lift them up, pour one, pause us, and go get one. Woo!
There it is.
Ooh, wait. I felt like it was about 30%.
Turn this back.
Danielle,
Oh, you're not gonna want it anymore.
No.
Oh.
I was gonna say, Danielle, are you starting to like this?
No.
No, you can just watch her and tell. It's almost like it gets worse every week.
I think it does.
Is it like a rusty rake going down?
It burns for a very long time.
But once you get past that, it gets so good.
Nope. No.
No.
It burns so
Never.
good.
No, it does not.
Corey, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week, I was poking around Apple's website the other day, and I stumbled across something that I don't know if too many people know about. Look,
Stop it.
so if you're going to buy a new, electronic or whatever, a lot of them can be pricey.
A new electronic.
So considering the idea of like refurbished items or things that have been used or redone and cleaned up a little, are obviously cheaper, but depending on if they're not directly from the company or whatever, you're running the risk of maybe not getting necessarily exactly what you're looking for. But I did discover on Apple's website, if you scroll all the way to the very bottom, and I don't think they really want you to know too much that it's there because they don't really advertise it very well.
They're people not scrolling to the bottom. That's their strategy.
Well, I think so.
Okay.
But they do have a refurbished section that they sell all their stuff. It's either brought back or returned or turned back into them, and Apple actually refurbishes it themselves. And like if it's a phone or a tablet, they put a brand new housing on it, a new battery in it, a new screen, and then they resell it at a discounted price.
Do you think it's like symbolism? Because on an apple tree, the bad apples fall to the bottom.
Wow.
That's a good stretch.
Wow. Yeah,
That's a
that
far
was
It's a stretch. I'm
that's
not sure how good it was.
That was reaching.
Was this in regards to
What-
the broken phone? The slight crack?
Yes, that's it. It is what led me to this, but I still had insurance on my phone, so that all worked itself out. But yeah, if you don't have insurance on your phone or something like that, and you do end up destroying it, a good route to go would be looking at the refurbished items rather than buying something brand new at double the cost.
What's the level of the discount?
It all depends on what you're looking for. They have stuff that they have like.
For example?
Or
whatever you looked at.
Phones, they had iPhone 8s on there that were basically like $300 off. So normally it would have been like $600. They were selling them for the refurb ones for $300.
Microphone may not work or something, but still looks good.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing though. It's through Apple. They're the ones that actually refurb it and test it. It's not like a third-party company.
Yeah.
Right. So
they're not going to sell something that they're not guaranteeing because you actually get a 1-year guarantee on the product as well.
Was this in your quest to attempt to purchase an iPhone 5 because you are completely boycotting any new iPhone products?
I don't know if you even
Looks
get
at
an
confusion
iPhone.
around the room.
We had a conversation before about how Corey.
How the phones are getting bigger?
Yeah. Corey's a very
Fine.
particular man when it comes
He
to
is.
technology.
He is.
The 6 is barely supported now.
Some might say persnickety.
And he got to the point where I asked him why he didn't have the 10 and the newest, latest, greatest, because the Cory Selesky I know always has the latest, greatest technology. And he said he was, I'm fine with this. And I said, well, so we got into a conversation about it, and he basically told me his thoughts on it. And I said, well, if that's your defense, why don't you just have, like, the iPhone 5? He's like, if everything would work on it, I still would.
Yeah.
I do have an iPhone 5 in my drawer at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, they actually now like Verizon won't turn it on for you.
Yeah, I still have my 6, and it works great, but it's just a matter of time before they stop discontinuing all the support on it.
Yeah, like if I were to destroy my phone right now and take that iPhone 5 to Verizon, they'd be like,
What do you do with it? Paperweight?
sorry, we're not turning that on for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great marketing on Apple's behalf because you guarantee new products on the market all the time. People that are being seen with, you don't see someone with some janky old iPhone.
Yeah, you do.
They're going to be relatively new.
Your uncle still has a 5.
Which one?
They just stop things from working.
One of them.
Yeah. Well, Cory, it's a good example of my, for this last Christmas, my wife does all the Christmas shopping. I have too much other stuff to deal with. So she bought my 6-year-old, well, he's 7 now, an iPod. It was a newer generation, like, I don't know, I think they're coming out with a new one now. I think it's a generation 5. It wasn't a brand new one, but it was like one step down. And he's 6, or going to be 7. But whatever you get my 6 or 7, my 7-year-old, you have to get the 2-year-old because he wants to be just like the brother. So my
screw
No,
that. Not
no,
gonna
no,
2-year-old
no,
iPod.
no, stop it right there. You don't have to do that.
No, you don't.
Parental advice.
I agree.
You don't have
I
to
agree.
do that.
So, but my wife didn't want to spend
Cecilia, get down.
$150, $200 on
Jag knows.
$200 on iPhone or iPod. So she went and found I wanted to say it was like a iPod 4 or 3 for like $70. She got at home and stuff, and I programmed my sons before Christmas. Not a problem. Rocco, the older one. I'm starting to work on this other one. I'm like,
Wasn't happening.
I'm like, oh, there you go, $60 down the drain. You can do nothing with it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's they'll get you that way, but
Yeah.
like I said, coming across that refurbished stuff, it was pretty cool to see that they actually had that on there.
And that's good. It's backed by Apple because I've been leery about refurbished stuff as well because
right.
I've been burned by
as
third party.
as you should be.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, since it's through Apple, like I said, they give you a one year guarantee on it, and everything's refurbished through their company and their technicians. So yeah, something to look at if you're in the market for.
Was there a bunch of
product.
like junk stuff on the website before you got to that part? You said you had to scroll off the bottom.
it's literally it's one of the things in the very bottom of like where they have like the contact us list, the services list, and it's like refurbished and renewed like in the very bottom corner, and I'm like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Get my binoculars
Well,
and
hey, good attention to detail.
spectacles. I can't read what this says. Contact refurb items.
Well done, Cory. Well done.
Oh,
That's
thank
some
you.
good knowledge there.
Did you go?
I did not.
Okay.
I wanted to wait to see what he talked about before.
Okay, so let me just paint a picture for you. We're at Costco.
I tossed a softball there for you.
We're
Thank you.
at. Hold on.
Because I was like, I have
Hold on.
freaking nothing.
I was gonna do it too.
I
Hold
knew
on.
you were.
Hold on. We're at Costco.
We didn't go to Costco.
Walk us through it, Danielle.
We didn't go to Costco.
What aisle are we going down?
We didn't go to Costco. Which one is it though? Because there's too many.
She's like, that asshole had
Which-
such a good one.
Which one? What? Which Costco?
No. Oh.
I don't know what is going on here.
No.
I'm
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't-
frozen food.
No, we didn't go to Costco. It is food, but it's not Costco.
Wait, hold on.
I love your food picks, Danielle.
Yeah.
Is it Malaysian corned beef?
No.
It's relatively certain it's canine if it's Malaysian.
No,
Right.
we tried the Detroit Wing Company.
Oh.
It's the best out of like all of the wing places we've tried. I think all of them now, haven't we? All the different ones in this area.
Just about.
Okay.
Actually, no, for sure. We've tried. all
Yes,
of
we
them.
have tried all of them.
For a
All
second,
of what?
I was gonna give you shit because I'm like, I've heard this story before, and then it dawned on me that I've heard it from Cory.
Yeah.
Oh.
So go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
So yeah, we went to Detroit Wing Company.
Yeah.
It was nice because, oh man, not being loud enough.
No, you're good.
We both got like the traditional wings,
Mhm.
where they allow you to get the flat, like you can get all flats. You don't have to have a mixture.
What is that?
Flats, yeah, I don't
What
understand.
is that?
The
Okay.
wings. Was instead of the drumsticks?
Okay. So there's drumsticks and flats.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they were called flats.
Yes.
I
So
think I've
you
heard it
can
once before.
you can at some places they allow you to order all flats.
Oh, okay.
And then we were also able to
If that's your thing.
yeah. They're
Can you order all drumsticks?
I'm sure.
Yes, you can.
Nice.
Sweet.
But then you also had the option to cook them longer. So they typically cook them at 13 minutes, and then you could do 15 or 20. So we did them at 15. They were probably the best wings I think I've had from like a
Crispy?
place.
What
They were
was-
very crispy.
Oh, the battered ones then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, they're not battered. They're
No,
just
so they're
the
deep
wing,
fried.
Deep fried.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they've been deep fried longer, and so
Right.
Okay.
So
Traditional style wings.
Traditionally, what they would do is like I guess they deep fry them skin on, and then they toss them in the sauce afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the boneless is battered,
Right.
and they deep fry it and then toss it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they have a lot of sauces too that are not your typical.
It was hard
Like
to choose.
homemade ones or
Yes.
Yeah.
the ones that made
And,
that?
and that was
Yeah.
they're all their sides they make fresh
Nice.
as ordered.
This is Detroit Wing Company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's it located at?
There's,
We
there's
went
a
to the
couple
one
of
in
them.
East Point.
Okay.
There's one downtown. There's one in Taylor.
That's not far.
There's a couple other ones I can't remember exactly
Okay.
where they're at.
Detroit Wing Company. I have to look it up.
Is there one in Morenci by Kevin?
I'm gonna say no.
First of all, where's Morenci at?
By Ohio.
But it was nice too because I didn't. The sauces are different, and the girl let me try a couple of different ones before I ended up picking one.
Do they have any like dry rubs at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they have like the lemon pepper. They're actually their mango habanero is a dry rub.
Okay.
And one of the guys at work let me try one of those, and it's got a kick to it.
Okay.
But and they have like one of the other ones was a Creole Parmesan.
Okay.
And that was quite tasty.
Yeah, I had, what was it? Asian something.
Yeah, the Asian. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't either. But it had a little bit of like a kick to it. It was kind of like almost like a sweet chili-ish.
Okay.
Asian orange is what it's called.
Oh, that sounds.
Did you say Asian orange or
Asian orange?
Asian.
We see what you did
Well,
there.
that's-
Detroit.
yeah,
Orange.
Just checking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kevin's head just twitched.
No,
Ah.
it was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we had cornbread too that was fresh and hot that they just made.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is that stale and cold like other places?
Yeah,
That probably really did well though. Paired well with wings.
it did.
Did they have a cilantro-based sauce?
They did not. Because I would have tried that.
Yeah, I don't think Cory's not a big cilantro.
No,
person.
Cory's like cilantro.
We've had this conversation many times.
Tony's not a big cilantro person either.
I'll put cilantro in pretty much everything.
Yeah,
I'm with
me
you
too.
on that.
But I think they said there was like a study out there that said you're either all for it or you hate it.
Yeah,
Well,
just one or the other.
Based on your taste preferences.
Kind of like olives.
They said it's hereditary too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, good pull, Kevin.
I might get a tattoo of just a cilantro leaf.
And actually, Bob, I think that's really like a marriage like criteria too.
Yeah.
You don't marry someone that likes or dislikes olives, opposite of what you like.
Bob?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you got to? Sorry, you called my name.
Nope, I did.
Okay.
You call.
What do you even have in here?
Waiting to.
No,
figure out
not
why.
that.
Oh, I know you don't want that.
Because I like you, Bob.
Well, thank you, sir.
Just on the door, Danielle. Try on the door.
Aren't all those Blue Moons yours? And there's like a shorts.
Is this yours?
No, God, no.
No, that's one of the few I got left. But he's got. He can have it if he wants it.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, that's fine.
Blue Moon, you got a shorts, Lupa.
This is fine. Thank you.
I'm like, I don't know what's yours anymore in here. Coconut.
He just drinks whatever.
So, no, not that. There's nothing coconut about
You
that.
want
It's
the
disgusting.
pineapple juice that's in here?
No.
He just doesn't have any pizza to trade for it.
What are you drinking there, Kevin? For the
A
crowd?
little bit of Corona.
For a Kevin Files, Corona Extra with lime.
Kevin's
right.
a big Corona guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drink the Bud Lights and all that type of stuff too, but
I feel like you like the pageantry of the lime and the upside down and the like almost spilling into your mouth, and I feel like that's a big point of production.
Well, that right there wasn't my fault.
No, that was my fault.
No, but it was your beer. You gotta be responsible for
Hey.
your beer.
Okay, fair enough.
Danielle, you're drinking the old White Claw.
No, this is the Smirnoff one, the raspberry rosé.
Oh God,
Really?
Corey.
On the Schnozzcast,
Corey.
I would almost
Please,
appreciate
Corey,
if you
thank
called it
you. Thank you
Smirnoff.
so much.
Smirnoff.
I think anything that starts with SM should have a
no.
schma in the
No,
front.
it should not.
How am I supposed to say it?
I just had goosebumps when that happened.
Spell it.
I'm so thankful.
SHM.
Right, where is the H in?
MEEEEEER.
I don't even know. Is it
Snoff.
is it technically Smirnoff or Smirnoff?
Smirnoff.
I've always said Smirnoff, but I don't know for sure.
I'd say it's
Smirnoff? Is that how you're supposed to say it?
That's-
yes.
There was a
Not
lot.
Smirnoff.
There was a lot. There was a lot of wind in the first syllable.
You've met my
That's
mom.
a
You know how she
Russian
talks.
Jew, sort of a.
My mom
Yeah, that's
makes up
very
her own
Jewish.
words.
Got any of that apple
Schmackle.
snaps?
Just
Apple
go-
snaps over there?
Schmear on your schmackle there.
Mom, just look out for
Put
the
the
next,
schmear on
next
there.
commercial on TV for it and see what they say.
Put the what?
Look out for the next commercial on
Exactly.
Oh, for
TV
Smirnoff?
and see what they say.
You.
Got it.
I think
once
it
again,
is
you've
Smirnoff.
Put a commercial on TV.
steered us in the right
Put a
direction.
commercial on TV.
I gotta have to put a commercial on
See
TV.
what they say.
See what they say.
As you do.
Sage advice.
Better works. Better words have never been spoken.
You know, I tell you what though, Nick.
As I mess up a sentence.
Words like that have never been spoken
Yeah.
before.
You know, Nick, I was making fun of Tony a couple weeks back for the White Claw.
I don't know how. Is it possible?
Be careful.
Yeah.
You've
No,
got some
no,
White Claw sympathizers.
Right, that's true.
Within
Quiet.
arm's length.
I'm
Just
also
relax.
a
Jesus.
girl.
Just relax, okay?
Oh, so is Tony.
So, you know,
Him and his Tuscan sunsets.
Yes.
And
No, Kevin. Don't.
after last podcast, either the last one or the one before, I can't remember which one it was, but you know what you described of
#1 fan status slowly
No.
dwindling.
what you described for the White Claw being, you know, it's a vodka based
Yeah,
flavored
right.
tonic.
Right.
I'm a big vodka guy, so you know,
Did you try it?
not yet. My wife actually has.
My mom.
Not yet.
No,
My mom said I could have it.
No, my wife has some in the fridge. I sent her. I sent Tony a picture. Like Carla had a drink for him.
Is it a dick pic?
No.
No, that's the other phone.
No. No. So you know, after
Who is this?
No. So
What is this?
You look angry.
With your one eye closed?
So you know, after your explanation of what it was, I think. Oh yeah, it was the last episode. You were telling that to Dawn, explaining to.
Of course I was.
To what it was and stuff,
Of course.
being vodka based and everything. So I'll lay off of making fun of Tony.
Yeah,
to try it out. So.
I mean, really, honestly, the thing that I always kind of point out is that for non-beer drinkers or people that don't want wine, there's really not a lot of like for someone like Cory that wants something simple like vodka and Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't, I mean, it seems like rum and Coke or vodka and Sprite or something like that would be so simple
yeah.
or generic to just be able to mass produce into cans.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they have like the Jack's Down Home Punch, you know, crap, you know.
There was a company that was doing pre-mixed. It was either rum and cola or
But
Jack and cola.
it's never that. It always ends up being like
Yeah, no, the Jack Cola, I
malt
know
liquor
about.
of some
Yeah.
sort. You know, it's like no, this is not. rum and Coke.
It didn't mix well. I used to work at a beer warehouse down in Toledo,
Uh-huh.
and so I used to see all these types of different brands and types that come through, and you know what quickly left, quickly disappeared because it wasn't selling. And I do remember seeing the rum and Coke.
I would
type
say there
bags.
was a company that made it, but
it didn't last long.
I remember being very syrupy.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
as you
And
can,
then there was like maybe 2%, you know, by volume.
but as you can
Like,
see,
wow.
you know, now they're doing a lot of the Not Your Fathers, which is kind of that mindset.
Right.
You know, if you guys have never had the Twisted Teas before, those are really
Yeah,
good.
those are
Yeah,
really
those are
good.
big popular.
I
yeah,
mean,
they do it.
Henry's hard grape and
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the Twisted Tea is what
Yeah.
they were selling at the OAR concert last year. That was my
Oh,
go-to.
yeah, you like
that
that.
was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a Danielle favorite, the Twisted Teas.
Those
Yeah.
they are pretty good.
They taste exactly like iced tea, and they have no carbonation, and they go down really smooth.
Yeah.
did they have a peach version?
Oh, they had all
of
kinds. Yeah,
Twisted Tea?
they had like an Arnold
At the
Palmer
concert?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Did they have a peach one?
I don't
Oh,
know.
at the
I don't know if
concert.
they had flavors or not.
I know they ran out of White Claw, and I was
Case
not happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you try the one I sent you the picture of when Bob and I were at JP McGuire's? The mango.
No, I haven't seen that anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta
It's
go
not
get
at
these.
Uncle Ray's official.
Is that White Claw or Smirnoff?
It was White Claw.
Oh, it was White Claw. Okay. Just didn't
Sorry, I
know,
couldn't hear you because
didn't know if it was
Hold on,
Smirnoff or.
is White Claw one word? You're saying it like it's one word.
It is. Hold on,
words.
there's some in the
Like-
fridge. No,
You're
it's
dancing
2
there.
words.
White Claw.
It's,
2 words?
It's 2 words.
Okay.
White Claw.
White Claw.
White. Pause.
Yeah.
So should we move on to what's on Bob's shelf, or
There was one thing I'd like to segue
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the Detroit Wing Company into. Bob and I were talking about restaurants the other day, and
the other day?
as you do. So I brought up Detroit Wing Company to Bob, which he's never had, and you brought up a restaurant to me. Do you remember what that restaurant is? If you don't, I have it written down here because I went home and wrote everything down that night.
Hooters.
Is it the cantina?
It was.
We have not been there. I haven't been there.
Neither have I.
I already gave him my pick of the week though, so I gotta save that.
Yeah, we should
This
save for
is-
next
This
week.
isn't a pick of the week though.
Save that
is-
nugget. He
Yeah.
might want to.
Could be a pick
He
of
may
the
want to
week.
use that though.
Everything could be a fucking pick of the week.
Right.
All right, guys, gotta shut the podcast down now because everything's gonna be
Well,
fixed
look,
in a week.
we're all homebodies to some extent. We don't go out to travel in the world and see new things every day during the week. Sometimes you gotta pocket these.
Nick
already
already
got pissed at himself for giving away a pig of the week.
I say he already did too.
I'm trying to learn from his mistake and going, I should probably want that.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll put a pin in that one.
Got a bleeding chest wound from that. So, what I was going to say.
Yeah. Actually, before we do anything with the shelf, we need to. The contest ended on Monday.
Oh boy.
And we need to announce a winner, boys and girls.
That was another thing on the list
Yeah.
that I wanted to bring up.
So I don't know if you guys have the notes that you took from last time.
Who was saying that they couldn't make out their own notes?
I don't know. Who was it? No, I could read them. I just don't know why I wrote what I wrote.
But
It's not that I couldn't make it out. I just don't know what the hell I was thinking.
But you didn't make it into your grocery list this week, so that's
true.
a bonus.
Yes.
I don't know which is worse, not being able to read your notes or not knowing why you wrote what you wrote.
Oh, the second one.
Okay, so
Worse.
here's
And that's going to be part of my hurtling toward the grave segment, Kevin.
here's what I'm proposing.
Yeah.
Because we're at an hour and 10 minutes on the live stream.
Okay.
The one
So you've got people in the audience who
No.
entered this contest. You're going to leave them
No.
cliffhanger
Oh, yeah,
to
we
listen
can
to
do
the
whatever-
audio to find out whether or not they won.
we can do whatever we want.
Fucking genius.
So we can do that, and I
Yeah.
also only have 10 minutes left on this SD card.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
I gotta get
That's
the
fair.
video off the other ones.
So you want to do what's in Bob's shelf, and then we'll do the contest after we take a break?
I say
Or you're saying, like,
let's
right
take
now?
the break right now,
Okay.
and then we'll continue on with the rest.
I'll follow your lead, sir.
All right.
Yeah, because we still have weird news to go through as well.
Do we? Fucking Kevin. I don't have any weird news stories.
I
You
think-
better have a weird news story, Kevin.
Apparently Kevin
Okay,
does.
all right. Well, it looks like we're gonna have a special dispatch for Kevin Cromwell's weird news.
So
I came prepared, Bob. I came prepared.
You know what? Number one fans always do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Episode 23. Where we're gonna take a break right now, and then we're gonna continue with the audio for at least another hour, I would imagine. Please join us then. Should be up on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts in the next 48 hours.
All right, catch you on the flip side.
good night.
Good night.